I don't know, for those of you who've seen, Semaj Morgan made some comments about Coach Campbell. So he was talking, he was being asked about how he feels about the Chip Lindsey 2025 system, after obviously the passing game last year was one of the worst in the country. And Morgan took the time, and this is rare for a player to criticize a coach or even a former coach. This doesn't happen too often. But Semaj Morgan has always been a little bit more just real talk, in his interviews and things. And so he criticized Kirk Campbell's reliance on bubble screens by saying, "That's not my thing." And so he's optimistic about the more diverse kind of route concepts and more 11 personnel. So he's running more routes, showing what he can do. And look, I think we were all very critical. I mean, I definitely was, of what we saw. I was cautiously optimistic about Kirk Campbell. Then we saw the product on the field. And while I also think Semaj and his fellow wide receivers weren't exactly the best at times, too, dropping balls left and right. I'm kind of curious to know what is his thing. If it isn't bubble, like, let's find out what his thing is, because I'm still not exactly sure. But I'm sure Elijah's gonna have a field day with this one. But I will say I do take his point. And when you look at the film of last year, and the short yardage, the bubble screens, here's a 3-yard route when you need 5 yards. I do think Chip Lindsey is going to really open things up for this offense. And we even saw the beginnings of it in very basic terms at the spring game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, essentially what Semaj is saying is, and he even says in the comments, like, or in his quote, he's like, "I'm running more routes now. Chip Lindsey has me doing more on offense." Well, good. Because I want to see that. I mean, I'm hoping Semaj has a great year. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who are skeptical, Elijah, and others, not just Elijah, but even myself. I mean, even myself a little bit, right? But we want Semaj to have a great year, and if Chip Lindsey's offense is going to allow Semaj to be a more natural wide receiver, get open more instead of just trying to use him as a little gadget player, then good. Because we do know Semaj has a dog mentality. He has a workman's mentality. He works hard. There's no denying that. It's just, whatever is the production? Well, the production might very well be a new offensive coordinator, a quarterback who can get him the damn ball, and an offensive playbook that actually gets the wide receivers open. Because Kirk Campbell was a clown show, respectfully. He just was not a good offensive coordinator. Terrible. He was basic. You guys want to talk about basic? Take a shot at my pumpkin cookies. Kirk Campbell's basic.
Yeah.
Basic ass offensive coordinator. That's a basic starter kit. Shout out to my pumpkin pie fans out there. I see you guys in the chat. But yeah, pumpkin pie is the shit. But yeah, man, like, I'm happy to hear this. I'm happy to hear that we've heard this, though. We've heard this from like the start of spring, right? We've heard that, the offense is more explosive. They're getting the ball down the field. They're getting air yards. I mean, the offense can push the ball. Let's see it. We're hearing it. Let's see it. We'll see it when the season comes. Obviously, we're talking it's off season, but at least it's good to hear that you have these wide receivers talking about, well, you know what? My route tree is expanding. Good. Because I hope what that means is we're going to see you become the best player you can be. So Semaj has my support. Obviously, I know we all, even as much as some throw on Semaj for his lack of production, we all, I mean, at the end of the day, we want him to do well. So what's hats off to Chip Lindsey for seeing that and hopefully having it translate to the field.
Yeah. So I think that with this topic, and as you compare the two offenses, it's like comparing in the NFL, like Adam Gase to Andy Reid. I mean, it really is like, think of the bottom of the barrel to something that's actually could get the job done. And I think that Semaj could be good at maybe some people in the chat are saying the skinny post routes, angles. I could see him do an angle or a corner, or just some things that will mix it up a little bit more. but he's going to get his opportunity. The key is once all the excuses are taken off the table, offensive coordinator excuse will no longer be on the table, right? Quarterback excuse will no longer be on the table. Now it's all on Ron Bellamy and his wide receivers to do what they need to do because all the excuses are gone now other than, yes, Bryce is a freshman, but he's still better than anybody we had last year. And so now the spotlight's on Ron Bellamy and his wide receivers to perform. Sharon got him help. Soup Campbell. Let's see the results.
Well, that's the thing too. That's actually a great point. Is the Soup Campbell factor, like, because what do we think the influence is there? Is Soup Campbell identifying Semaj Morgan as more? Is I'm sure he's in Chip Lindsey's ear. I don't know this. I'm assuming, but I feel that Chip Lindsey would speak to it, Soup Campbell, and get his opinion on what he's seen out of the wide receiver. What are these guys? And I know that sounds terrible, like he's going over Ron Bellamy, but I think a lot of us do think Soup Campbell he's more than just a assistant coach. He really is. He's kind of the the veteran in the room and experienced one at that, who has produced a lot of talent in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing. You know what I really hope you're seeing, but I think we are. You're seeing coaches identify their players to doing more than what they were doing, right? Like, geez, wouldn't it have been nice to hear this with Donovan Edwards last year? How about his route tree? Where was that?
Yeah.
But it makes sense though, because if Semaj Morgan say, "Well, all I was doing was these bubble screens, and now my route tree is expanded," well, it shows, because what the hell was going on with Donovan Edwards last year? And I'm sure people have seen some of the reports coming out of Jets camp. Jets camp is thinking they got a steal. That Donovan Edwards is showing out. Well, good,
Would have been nice to see that this past year,
right? But Kirk Campbell, bro. Kirk Campbell's the boogeyman, bro. He's ruined all of our dreams. But yeah. So I think it's a positive sign that you're seeing the weapons for Michigan being utilized more in an offense where a quarterback can get him the ball, in an offense where the offense gets the players the ball. Now we'll see though. Now again, and we're gonna be very mindful going into the season. Obviously, we're gonna take it with a grain of salt. We need to see it on the field, but it's good to hear. I'm happy to hear it, and hopefully it translates to touchdowns on Saturday, baby.
There you go. Touchdowns on Saturday. That's what you want to see. And yeah, it will be interesting if Donovan Edwards comes out of nowhere to be a receiver / whatever he winds up being on the Jets. I mean, that would be just, again, indicative of the coaching staff last year not knowing how to utilize him. I think he was better at quarterback and better at wide receiver than he was at running back. And I feel like there could have, I mean, shit, he could have been the quarterback last year. I'll say it. He could have been the quarterback.
If we had a competent offensive coordinator, Donovan Edwards should have been an offensive weapon. Okay? Even when you have Donovan Edwards, or you have Khalil Mullins in the backfield, Donovan Edwards should be split out wide.
Yeah,
he should be on the field. Like, he should have been on the field more, doing other things, even if he was a decoy for some plays, because you could have used him as one.
Yeah, and that's why when we were face palming because he was on the field, it wasn't that we were upset that he was on the field. It was that we were upset he was in the field in an uncreative position, just right there in the backfield all the time.
Right. It was how they were using him. It was a disservice to him, man. It is what it is. I mean, we got to move on. I mean, obviously he's in the NFL now, but it's still frustrating, and it's the offseason.
Fuck it.
But I will say, John, last Thursday, I think you caught this. We had a major debate, and it was the Sharon Moore contract extension. I think next Thursday we have another major debate, and that is going to be French toast, pancakes, or waffles. We will settle that Thursday on the call-in show, just so everybody knows. Everyone knows the deal. I will hold my opinion until Thursday. But I see the chat. I see the chat. It's getting a little heated in there. We got some team waffle in the house. We got some team French toast and team pancake. We'll see. We'll see who's right. We'll see who the champion is Thursday.
I do love, I will say this. We haven't had waffles, but Courtney makes an excellent French toast and chocolate chip pancakes. So now I'm just trying to. I'm trying to go which because I've been a French toast lover a long time. But then with waffles, you do a chicken and waffles.
Oh,
And that's bomb. So also the question is like, is it on it their own? Do they like which one is better on their own? Because when you start bringing in the different dishes, then
it's a fair question. I don't
yeah,
know. We'll let the chat decide. I'm not going to be the arbiter on
yeah,
that one. I'll let we will get into every caller will make their vote. We'll also put a poll in the chat Thursday. We'll get down. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see who the champ is at the end of the day. I'll tell you what. I won't give away my position, but there was a time that I was a longtime supporter of one of those foods, but I have recently switched within the last 2 years, and I am now team other. And we'll get into that Thursday.
yeah. So speaking of that, obviously Thursday we've got the call-in show with you and Johnny. I'll look forward to checking that out with this debate and others. It's always a great time to check out the call-in show. Just take your calls. Because on this show we don't take calls, just so we could present the topics, and like this is kind of like we're charting the course for the week, right? This is you get to hear the main topics, and then you go Thursday, you get to give your take on everything, and so this will be an opportunity to do that, including the pancake, waffle, French toast debate, or anything else that's on your mind.